Scary, spooky Sunday. How are we doing, everybody? We're back. This guy moving the chains. We're back. Here come the Irish. Woo! Got that W yesterday. Much needed. 1-2. Still got a little bit of hope for the college football playoff. Got a lot of games to touch on. We got Clemson losing 1-3. Oof. God, big yikes. Some other games I'll hit on. Not today, but I'll go later on this week and just touch on them. Just a couple today I wanted to touch on. I'm looking through my notes here. We've got, I want to touch on Maryland, Wisconsin. That is just looking awful in Madison right now. Fire Fickle chance was all real yesterday. Not good. I got Auburn, Oklahoma. Two young guns going at it. Jackson Arnold, who was with Oklahoma. Now he's back as the rival at Auburn. John Mateer looking like a beast. Florida, Miami, the in-state rivalry last night. Pitbull playing. Got my little salsa going. And then I want to touch on Clemson, Syracuse. So, off the top, Notre Dame, Purdue. My dad was at that game yesterday. Weird they had the rain delay. Is what it is. Can't control Mother Nature. So, Purdue, I was impressed by them yesterday. They had a fight to them. They played hard. They're trying to get this culture, around. I feel like they've been trying to get that culture up in West Lafayette for what seems forever, ever since Joe Tiller. It just seems like it. But they, listen, they played hard. They played tough for the first half. Most of the second half, they kind of got it rolling. But the minute that 46-yard touchdown run by Jeremiah Love, who, by the way, is an absolute monster. That two-headed running attack for Notre Dame is outstanding. Their offensive line got back to playing what it is. Smash mouth, old school football like I've seen Notre Dame have 4 years with their offensive lines. CJ Carr's getting more comfortable. I told you the first couple weeks to be growing pains for them. So Purdue's quarterback played well yesterday, had growing pains. This is going to be a growing pains kind of season for the Purdue Boilermakers. I just feel like they're getting there. Big Ten's getting harder, though. USC's 4-0. I don't know. Hasn't played anybody yet. We'll see. But I really was a respected Purdue yesterday. They played hard. They played tough. But we shall see. They're going to have growing pains this year, no doubt about it, from what's been the last couple of years with Ryan Walters. After I thought he did a nice job at Illinois, they got their fucking bells rung last night. God damn, belt to ass. Stunned last night. Just an absolute beatdown. But, hey, it's going to be a growing pain season for Purdue. So hang in there. It's going to get better, hopefully, over time. Notre Dame, like I said at the top, they deserved that win yesterday. I knew it was going to be kind of a battle. Purdue and them always kind of keep it close. I know last year they just blew them out the water. But Purdue, I didn't feel like was coached well last year. Now this year, that was a much more competitive game. The better team showed up. They've been in the same system, been there, done that. Marcus Freeman been at the program a few years. I kind of saw that coming. So that was encouraging for Notre Dame fans, including myself. I had rocking my Irish Adidas old school look yesterday. So we'll see what happens. And they're going to be okay. CJ Carr got comfortable yesterday, hit some big shots down the field. I was at Costco getting some stuff yesterday. I look up my phone, I see one play at 66 yards. I went, whoa. So I went back, watched the tape this morning. I spent about 40 minutes this morning watching highlights. I'll get to those games in a second. But just trying to get the feel for this kid, CJ Carr. He's going to get better. He's a freshman. We keep forgetting that. He's a young guy, has never played football for until this year. So he's going to be okay. Keep riding those two running backs like Secretariat, who's got a massive horsepower physically, and they're going to be on their way. And they're great kids, too, which is Notre Dame. That's a staple. So the other game I wanted to touch on, the second game I watched was Auburn, Oklahoma yesterday. Oklahoma's in the SEC. That's hard to believe. I mean, it's just hard to believe. Wrap my brain around Oklahoma, SEC. We're in the Big 12. They're closer to Texas. It's weird. But this is the new world of college football. I'll start with Auburn. That program is, listen, I get they have like a little brother syndrome. They've kind of been in the shadow of Alabama, and Alabama actually obviously dominated during Nick Saban's tenure. They're still doing well under Kalen DeBoer, but not to the level, I think, of Nick Saban. A lot of high expectations there. Don't dispute it. They've been spoiled. I will say this with Auburn, though. I don't know Hugh Freeze is a good coach. I thought he did well at Ole Miss. But, man, the SEC hires coaches, man. I don't know how they get through there. They've just had so much chaos. I mean, listen, Saban had problems for years, but it just seems like, some guys get caught, some guys don't. I don't know. He held a thing of prostitutes with him. I don't know. Craziness in college. But my point is, I like that Jackson Arnold kid. I watched full highlights this morning, as just mentioned. He's a tough kid. To get sacked 10 times and keep getting up and getting up and getting up, but they just were undisciplined yesterday. And I felt like when I saw Hugh Freeze's teams at Ole Miss, they did have that Chad Kelly year. I think it was 2015, the first year in college, when they upset Alabama in Tuscaloosa. I just feel like, to me, when I watch Auburn, just a Hugh Freeze kind of team, they're just undisciplined. They just feel like loose and not tightly wound up, tight, and just kind of on the same page. I will give Jackson Arnold credit. Going down to Oklahoma, that's a raucous, rabid fan base down there in Oklahoma, in Norman. And it's just one of the cool venues. I've said this for years. I think Oklahoma, to me, feels like one of the better, well-run programs of my lifetime. They're obviously a big brand, no doubt about it. All the Heismans, all the great, great players, the coaching, Barry Switzer to Bob Stoops to Lincoln Riley before, he left, obviously. And Brent Venables just kind of picked it up where it left off and brought a toughness and a physicality I hadn't seen from Oklahoma teams in a long, long time. But I want to touch on Auburn. I kind of segued into Oklahoma, excuse me. But Auburn's going to be okay. I mean, this Jackson Arnold kid's a gamer. He's tough. He's physical. He keeps getting up. They got to get better on the line of scrimmage. They cannot get pushed around. Now, Oklahoma's got a real defense, no doubt about it. But to get sacked 10 times and keep getting up really signified to me Jackson Arnold, his ability. On Oklahoma, I was back and forth on that for a second. That's my fault. I will say this with John Matera. I love this kid. The gamer, the fight. He's got a Baker Mayfield, Brett Favre kind of gunslingery kind of mentality. Will he work in the NFL? I don't know. I think he could. He's fun to watch. And Oklahoma's fun to watch. They got dudes everywhere. They're running trick plays. They're fast. They're good at the line of scrimmage, which was really good when Lincoln Riley was there. Although the faults of Lincoln Riley was the defense. He always ran the ball. He always had good offensive lines. I do believe Oklahoma, from here on out, those got a gauntlet of a schedule. They still got to go to Tennessee. They still got to play some teams. So we'll see what happens. I cannot wait for that chess match. Josh Heupel versus Brent Venables. That defense, that kind of high-tempo, paced offense that Josh Heupel likes to run. I can't wait for that matchup. But we'll wait in a couple weeks. I still got South Carolina. My guy, Delora Sellers, last night looked good. Undisciplined mess from South Carolina. I'll get to that game later this week. But I was really encouraged by Oklahoma. They're playing really well. Unlike last year, where it just felt like they were just kind of treading water and it kind of wasn't looking right. Now I feel like it looks right, looks more on the same path and trajectory. But we'll see, because right now they are the 11th best team in the country. That could change in about 9 days. We saw South Carolina. They were 11th in the country. Now they're 2-2, lost to Vanderbilt and lost to Missouri. And it's just gone shit show. So, got to figure out what's going on there. And then I want to touch on Maryland, Wisconsin was just an absolute... I was just so disgusted as a Badger fan yesterday. I don't know what to make of this team. I can't... I was driving around. I saw it was 14-0, and I went, okay, maybe Wisconsin comes back. Okay, maybe. And then it was 20-0 with a 0. Like in Holes, 0! One of my favorite movies. But last night, to me, was it just kind of came a full circle to me that this organization, this program, something's missing. I don't know if it's Barry Alvarez stepping down. I don't know if it's the new AD. I don't know. They're not the Wisconsin I know. Wisconsin I know used to run people out the stadium when they got their massive road-grading offensive lines with just big bodies on big bodies, and they had run games, and they play action, and they just were physical. They were a well-respected program, well-coached under Brett Bielema. They had Paul Chris for a little bit. They had Barry Alvarez, who was the AD, and now he's the coach. He was the coach in the 90s. But, man, that was just embarrassing. They can't even get off their blocks. I've been saying this last couple of years. I don't know where the offensive line's gone. 2 years ago, I watched them. They struggle getting open against lanes. They get, good chunk plays, and then there's nothing there. Chunk play, and then nothing's there. And they keep changing offensive schemes. They want to be more spread. They want to be more air raid. They want to be all this stuff, and I get excited about it, but I don't feel like they have the personnel. So I don't know what's going on up there. They're not dipping their feet in the NIL money, which I understand. It's a harder university to get into. I get that. Hell, I tried getting in there once. The standards are insane. So I just, to me, when I watch this team, and Fickle has no emotion. That's the other thing. You know, Belichick didn't. Yeah, Belichick didn't, but he was the smartest coach that's ever walked the sideline in the NFL. One of them. I mean, along with Bill Walsh, I wasn't around for Bill Walsh, but in my lifetime, the smartest coach was Bill Belichick. Kind of a grump, not my cup of tea. He's turning into a grumpy asshole, but that's besides the point. Whole nother story for a whole other day. But my point is, I don't sense the passion that this team plays with. Where's the fire? Where's the intensity? Where's, like, run through a wall, Dan Campbell type shit? I don't see it. They better get this shit right quick. They got a bye week. They better wake up. Now, are they going to fire Luke Fickell? Probably not, because a buyout's $25 million. These buyouts with these coaches is insanity. It's insane to get rid of these coaches when you're paying them all this money. With, you know, it's like Brian Kelly. Everybody wanted him fired. Well, if you get rid of him, where you go? So you're just kind of in no man's land, Wisconsin. But again, it's been hard. I get the injuries. Your quarterback's been hurt like the first week of the season, which is crazy to me. But it's unfortunate. And I understand it. So, I don't know. In Maryland, I'll stick to them. I mean, they play hard, man. That team is fun. That quarterback is, man, he is something, man. He's slept on. I mean, I'll talk about Bryce Underwood being a great freshman. That kid's right behind him. He can sling it. He can run. He's got amazing deep ball accuracy. I'm watching yesterday, slinging balls. Maryland, you know, Mike Loxley's a very good coach. They always have good talent in Maryland. That's the other thing that's slept on. That's an underrated state to get talent. I've always heard this years ago. Wisconsin always got kids from New Jersey. Tough, gritty. Minka Fitzpatrick's from there. A lot of NFL players, Jonathan Taylor. They get a lot of gritty. And I feel like Baltimore, Maryland's the same boat. They're just tougher than a $5 steak. They're just tough. They're built different. They're him, as I would say sometimes after my Curls for the Girls Day. But my point is, Maryland's going to be a fun team to watch. I can't wait to watch them coming up. Hopefully they make it close with Ohio State. They had that thriller 7 years ago. So we'll see what happens. But Maryland, that was a good statement win, going up to Madison. That's hard to do. One of the harder venues in college football to go to. And it just shut them down like that. Was very impressive for Maryland. But Wisconsin, get your crap together. I mean, this Fickle era has not gone the way I planned. No signature wins, bad losses. The offensive identity, I don't know where it is. Special teams was a joke yesterday when I heard the guy on at Luke Perry who played for Ohio State with Luke Fickell. That's a specialty, and he can't get that right. So something's in the water there in Wisconsin I can't figure out. So they got to get that right before I kind of lose my effing mind. Last game, but not least, I wanted to touch on was Clemson is 1-3 now. Wow. 1-3? Well, I didn't see this coming. I mean, Syracuse, I'll say this, like the last 2 years, that Fran Brown guy's got something going. Like, he might be weird not showering or whatever his thing is. But I'm telling you right now, Syracuse, tough out. They can throw the ball. They got that Jenny or whatever his kid name is yesterday. They're slinging that pill around. They're playing hard on defense. They're running the ball. I just was impressed. And I was really encouraged by them yesterday. I really, really was. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But, man, I really was encouraged. I really was with Clemson, or with Syracuse, excuse me. And with Clemson, I don't think Kate Klubnik's it. I don't know what's going on at Clemson in Death Valley, the supposed Death Valley. Some consider LSU's that, but that's a whole other thing. But I don't feel the direction with this team. With Clemson, like, are they a running team? Do they want to sling that pill around? I don't know. Because they got their defense is disappointing too, because they got all these guys that are top 15 picks and they can't even get it right. And you think your conference is hard now? Miami's coming. Like, they're coming for you. So you better get your crap together, Clemson, quick, because you're not making the playoff this year. That's done deal. Done deal. But you got to show me some fight and some grit, Dabo. You've been there long enough. You made these statements about your teams in the past, and it's ignited them and put a fire under their ass. I don't know if this time's going to work. I don't think so. So we'll see what happens there. And the last game, but not least, I'm going to touch on was the in-state rivalry. Miami, Florida versus Florida. Last night, under the lights, Hard Rock. That was an electric atmosphere. Michael Irvin, his coked up, crazy having ass, rolling the thing. It was just a cool sight to see. And listen, when Miami's good, they're good, man. They got swagger. They got this kind of like moxie, this Miami feel, and the salsa, and the Pitbull and Mr. 305 was rocking and rolling last night, and I was vibing last night. And I will say this, Carson Beck, he kind of got into his old habits last night, of just very weird in the sense of, just like, what are we doing? That Florida guy made the great pick last night, but I just don't sense the, maybe their passing game was just, Florida was really good defensively. A couple weeks ago, DJ Lag threw 5 picks, and I'll get to him in a second, and they kept LSU at 20 points. So, they only lost by 10. So their defense obviously is playing their hearts out. Last night they were in the game, fought hard, but then Miami just kind of wore them down. And sticking on Miami, their offensive line is that's a Mario Cristobal staple. Physical, tough, big backs, receivers flying high. That just felt like a Miami team last night. They felt like a rattlesnake, and they just bit you, and they just chokeholded them last night, and they did. And that offensive line is probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. They got dudes everywhere, great players. They got their defenses flying around. That was a great hire. Both coordinators, Shannon Dawson getting the best out of Cam Ward last year, making him the number 1 overall pick. Carson Beck, he getting on that role last night, and he's looking like a rejuvenated new guy in Miami. After it wasn't his fault at Georgia. We can bang on it all day. But he played well. Don't be shocked if Shannon Dawson gets a couple head coaching gigs. He could. I don't know if he will, but he should. With the job he's done with the last 2 years at Miami with Cam Ward and now Carson Beck. But Miami, they're real, man. They're not a fraud. They can play tough. They're physical. They got playmakers everywhere like they do always with Miami when they've been good. And that was just impressive last night. And on the Florida side, I don't know if there's a program in my life that is more like cursed, but like they made a deal with the devil than that program. Because ever since Urban Meyer left, they have been in shit show. And maybe they just said, hey, Urban, get us a few natties and we'll be shitty forever. That's kind of what I feel like with Florida. There's something in the water down there. I don't know if it's alligators, whatever it is downtown. And I don't know what it is in Gainesville. I can't figure it out. DJ Lagway is very talented, and I like the kid. But he is under siege, man. They better protect him better. I saw the phony bit they did last night. Well, we had 40 players at the dinner, and oh my God, and we're going to... I didn't feel that last night for a second. I smelled that bullshit from a mile away. They didn't play hard for him. They're getting up sacks. They're getting manhandled in the run game. I get Miami's defensive front is massive and big, but come on, man. Like, DJ's a talented kid. I said last week, he's not ready to come out. He is not. Carson Beck is more ready than this kid is. Because Carson Beck's had experience. This kid has not. He's a talent, no doubt about it. I've seen a lot of talented quarterbacks come out of ZC. Do they have it up here? I'm not sure of that. So, I know it was a lengthy one today. Got NFL games coming up. I'll get you guys more posted this week. Spooky Sunday. Hope you guys are doing well. Content coming out more. It's football season, baby. Let's go, Raiders. Godspeed. Have a great day.